Good Baza YouTube, Elmas here, and I have for you guys today a really good replay that I had with a team that I actually did a live with yesterday. The reason why I'm uploading this now is because I'm short on time right now and I'm working all day on the day they still be going up. So yeah, I had this replay open. I didn't feel like searching for another one, and it was really good. Trust me. So of course, if you guys do enjoy, make sure to show support. Hit the like button down below. If you missed the live with this team, a link to that live will be down in the description, so you guys can go check it out and then come back to this video. And as for a quote-unquote question of the day, I guess you could say, in your opinion, what is the biggest threat in NU right now? Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about that. And yeah, so looking at team preview, I'll be honest, going into this battle, I was like, I lost, because Arbok after 2 coils can possibly just sweep through my entire team. If this is Calm Mind Audino, I literally have no way to stop it outside of potentially critting it, so I have to watch out for that. Gramble can pretty much stop my Kangaskhan, my Hariyama, and my Mesprit to an extent, because Ice Beam is the hardest hitting move that I have, considering that I have Side Shot. And if this is specially defensive Audino, then I don't think Samurott can 2 KO it, so that's something I have to be worried about as well. Typhlosion can destroy my entire team after I lose Hariyama, so that's one thing I have to watch out for. Sandslash can prevent me from getting up my hazards to an extent. If it carries a knockoff or not, then my Rotom should be able to take it on. If it does, then he can knock me off and spin away any type of hazards that I get up. Not to mention that with him having Arbok, I can't just get up T-Spikes, which would actually be very beneficial to me. And then Kadabra Kadabra's pretty scary to my team, because look at it, I have no safe switching to any of its coverage moves, so Kadabra's actually a really big threat going into this battle. But at the same time, I knew that if I could get up my rocks at least and weaken the Audino a bit, that my Samurai would probably be able to just destroy his entire team. And if I can get rid of Gramble, Kangaskhan can pretty much get a free kill with a double edge, because I'm pretty sure I can 2 KO Sandslash even if it does want to stay in, and he can't OHKO me in return. So going into this battle, I was going to watch out for Kadabra and Arbok mainly, and as well try to find some way to weaken Audino or his 2 physical walls and Gramble and Sandslash. So yeah, I'm going to be leading off with my Mesprit, as he actually ends up leading off with Typhlosion. Now, turn 1, I'm already pausing it, but this is what I thought. I have a Hariyama and I have a Samurott, so I'm expecting him to not go straight for the Fire Blast or straight for the Eruption, considering the fact that, well, the switch is very obvious, right? So I'm going to stay in, and he goes for Fire Blast as I go for Side Shock. This actually kind of sucks, because I was hoping Mesprit would be my kind of soft check to Kadabra to an extent, and now with him getting off a huge hit after psychic damage, even if he's focus sashed, pretty sure a Shadow Ball will be able to knock me out. So this does kind of suck, as this turn I'm going to make an aggressive play, and I'm actually going to bring in my Samurott as opposed to bringing in my Hariyama, expecting him to want to double switch into the Gramble. Now unfortunately for him, he ends up missing the Luos, predicting me to switch out, but you're going to see that extra 12% every turn actually doesn't really play that big of a role anyways. As he brings in Samurott, I'm going to prevent him from wanting to try to Calm Mind, but he actually ends up going for Toxic, which has me thinking, okay, he's definitely not Calm Mind with your attacks. He's not Crodino, which is really good, because that's mainly the big thing I was worried about. He can either be just regular specially defensive Audino, or he could be mega specially defensive Audino, which would still kind of be a problem, especially because, again, he has Gramble and he has Sandslash to stop my Kangaskhan to an extent. So that's really something I do have to watch out for. So what I'm going to do here is just make the safe switch into my Weezing, expecting him to maybe want to go for a knockoff, but he actually ends up going for the Flamethrower, as I believe this turn I go for a Sludge Bomb. Yeah, okay. For some reason I thought I went for Luos. Actually, I think what I tried to do is I clicked the cancel button to go for Luos, but of course, as we all know, the cancel button likes to not work, so I ended up Sludge Bombing the incoming Arbok. Seeing that he didn't have Intimidate, I know that he has Shed Skin, so Will-O-Wisping would really be a waste on my part. As I bring in my Kangaskhan here, I'm thinking, okay, I can go for an Adamant Choice Banded Earthquake and do at least like 90% to this R-block. I doubt I'll be able to straight up OHKO him, but I don't think he can OHKO me with a +1 gunk shot anyways. So just gonna try to get off as much damage as it just died. it just died. Now this opens up a really big hole for my Weezing to be able to come in and get up T-Spikes, for the fact that Sand Slash, yes, can spin them away, but at the same time, after I poison it and eventually get rid of it, getting up T-Spikes again will be a lot easier, considering the fact that he won't be able to get rid of them this time, as he makes a very nice double switch into Kadabra. I'm going to be forced to switch into my Mesprit, as he's going to be able to easily kill me with a combination of Psychic and Shadow Ball. As I can bring in my Hariyama here, I am going to predict him to want to make the safe switch into Gramble, and I'm going to pull a double switch of my own into my Weezing so I can get up that one layer of Toxic Spikes, as he actually switches directly into the Audino, and I end up Sludge Bombing. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, I know what's going through my mind. I thought that he would predict me to T-Spike or Will-O-Wisp and bring in Typhlosion, so I wanted to go for the Sludge Bomb to hopefully be able to knock him out. Okay, so yeah, my bad, that's my fault. That play escaped my mind, as I believe this is where I get on my T-Spike. Yes, now this is very good for me, because I will be able to whittle down Sand Slash now. And on the off chance that he did want to try to pass the Wish off to Typhlosion, I do stay in and make the aggressive play of going for the Sludge Bomb, hoping that maybe I would be able to finish him off, but he actually ends up passing off the Wish to Kadabra, which is brought back up to its Focus Sash, if I'm not mistaken. So here, I make a bit of an odd play and I bring in my Hariyama. I honestly thought Psychic would not do 76%, considering the fact that Hariyama is pretty bulky, and I have Assault Vest, and it's a Kadabra. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's actually Life Formed, because that Psychic did entirely too much damage. So I'm just going to go ahead and I believe I pull a double switch into Samurott here. No, sorry, go for Bullet Punch. My fault. I swear I watched this before. I'm sorry guys. But I go for Bullet Punch, I guess just trying to break the Potential Sash, as I make the safe switch back into my Weezing, as he double switches into Typhlosion, predicting me to switch out, and I am in a bit of a bad scenario here, as I'm going to be forced to just fodder off my Hariyama. But it turns out that I'm actually going to be able to live this Fire Blast, but he does, however, get the burn, which does kind of suck, but at the same time it's not exactly game changing, but it still would have been nice to keep Hariyama as a potential death fodder later in the battle. As I bring in Rotom, I'm going to be forced into a 50-50 play, and ultimately I decide to go for Shadow Ball, as luckily he just stays in. I guess I could have gone for Volt Switch, but it's not really that big of an issue if you really think about it. As he brings in the Audino, this is pretty much a free switch into my Kangaskhan, as he actually double switches into the Kadabra. Now he's going to switch out thinking that I just want to go for the safe Fake Out, but I'm actually going to pull a double switch into my Rotom, predicting him to want to switch out. And this is really good for me because I'm starting to really wear down that Granbull as this turn, because I Shadow Balled last turn. I'm thinking, okay, he's probably going to bring in Audino this turn. But no, he does make the smart play by bringing in the Sand Slash, as I'm going to be forced to switch out, considering the fact that I am Choice Scarfed, and he ends up going for the knockoff on the off chance that maybe I did stay in, which isn't a bad play at all on his part. As here, I'm expecting him to want to go for the Rapid Spin, so what I'm going to do is actually just keep spamming Toxic Spikes, because if I'm not mistaken, he should actually be faster than me, which means he can spin them away and I'll still be able to get on my T-Spikes, as he actually ends up switching directly into Audino. I get a free switch into my Kangaskhan, and I'm thinking, okay, I can pretty much safely go for a double edge here, but at the same time, his only real switch-in is Granbull, which after Intimidate, I won't bring him down to the point where Wish won't bring him back up to, well, what I'm trying to say is that even if I go for double edge, I'm not going to do enough damage to the point where Wish isn't going to keep him from being at full HP. So here I can either make the, in my opinion, dumb play and double edge and take unnecessary recoil damage, or I can make the smarter play, predict Granbull to come in and double switch into my Samurott, knowing that even if he stays in and goes for the Protect, I'm still going to get off a huge hit with Samurott's Hydro Pump, as I'm basically in a prime scenario to click Hydro Pump. As he brings in the Audino, look at how much damage this does. Thanks to the Toxic Spikes, this is going to be an easy to KO. However though, I have to rely on hitting a second Hydro Pump, as he actually decides to fire off his Sand Slash, which even if I missed Hydro Pump, I am faster than Sand Slash, so I could have just knocked him out with an Ice Beam. So if I did miss, it wouldn't have mattered there. As he brings the Kadabra, I'm going to switch into my Rotom thinking, okay, I can take a Psychic, right? No, Energy Ball does 63%, and I did actually run a damage calc. This did confirm the fact that he was actually Life Formed and not Focus Sashed, as I'm in a good scenario to just pretty much go for Volt Switch, considering the fact that he decided to fodder off his Sand Slash. As I'm able to fodder off my Weezing, I can now just get a free switch back into Rotom, and I'm pretty much going to be able to knock out this Kadabra. But he's actually going to switch out into the Gramble. I'm not entirely too sure why, but this is really good for me considering the fact that I can get a free switch into Kangaskhan, and I pretty much get a kill with Adamant Choice Banded Double Edge at this point. Or I can even just go for return if I really wanted to, which I ultimately do go for that considering the fact that I didn't have to take the unnecessary damage, and I would still be at a high amount of HP to guarantee that I live any hit coming from Kadabra. And at this point he pretty much knows the battle is over, because again, Kangaskhan lives any hit from Kadabra, and I'm pretty sure I can easily take KO Audino with Kangaskhan. So yeah, at that point it really didn't matter what he did, and that is going to be the victory in my favor. So going into this battle, I was really worried because I thought that team matchup was definitely in his favor, but luckily I was able to pull out the victory, and hopefully you guys did enjoy the battle. And if you did, make sure to show our support, hit the like button down below. Again, if you did miss the live with this team, a link to that will be down in the description. So with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow. So later, everybody.